Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Honcho's House. I'm back with a quick video. So, the boy Digga D is recently fresh home. He's just dropped his first track, and he had some words for Central Cee on that track. I'm not gonna lie to you, he had a few responses to some of the disses that Central Cee was sending him, and we're gonna be breaking it down for you. But look, Digga D is recently fresh home, yeah, and he's been getting into a bit of trouble with putting the music out. He's had his track age restricted. Now, if you get age restricted on YouTube, that means only people 18 and above can see it. It doesn't get pushed. So that's an L. Already that's an L. He tried to upload the song onto TikTok, a little post for TikTok. He got a community guidelines violation for that. That's also an L. If you get two of them, your whole TikTok gets banned. You can appeal it and you can win. TikTok just be on some bullshit. I'm not going to lie to you, bro. I'll be getting the same shit. I'll be putting up posts that have got nothing bad in it and they do the same thing. But Digga, he's thinking that maybe Central Cee's team are behind this. Now, look, maybe that's just what he thinks. There might not be any truth in that whatsoever. But look, he's basically put up a clip or put up a few Snapchats or Instagram posts, whatever you want to call it, where he's shown that, look, his track DPMO, Don't Piss Me Off, his first track since he's fresh home, has got age restricted. So you got to sign in to view the video. You have to have a YouTube account. You have to be over 18, right? And he's put the pictures up saying that. And this post basically just says, Digga D woke up wondering who's reporting my track, because he's having his music video removed from platforms. And obviously he wasn't allowed to stream either. He bought all the streaming equipment and they didn't let him do it. So look, this is what Digga D said about this situation himself, about his video getting age restricted. Bear in mind, there's no females or any lyrics about women in this song. Somebody is spam reporting it, and I wonder who it is. Now, I'm going to take a wild guess, and he's pointing at Central Cee's team here. I'm going to take a wild guess and assume that, right? Because Central Cee was dissing Digga D a lot, bro. He was not nothing too crazy, but he was definitely dissing Digga D. We're going to be getting into that as well. So look, just quickly, Digga also tried to stream. He bought all this streaming equipment. All this equipment I've got in front of me, yeah, is very, very, very expensive. Now, luckily, the boy Traplo Ross gave me a computer. He gave me a screen. I bought the camera myself. My girl patted me. Like, these things, the setup I've got here, you can't see it. It's thousands and thousands of pounds. I've been lucky enough to have a friend like Traplo Ross who's given me this and said, get on a streaming. Do you get what I'm saying? Obviously, I've had to buy some things myself. But Digga has dropped that money himself, bro. Yes, he's a rich man, but he's dropped that money himself. And what they've said is, I'm trying so hard to change my life around, but probation are literally being enemies of progress. I'm not allowed to stream playing a PS5. Why? That's crazy that he's not allowed to do that. I'm now being told I can't even shout out my gaming Discord channel, which I've made from 2022 without telling them. This doesn't even make any sense to me. I'm so confused. I'm only posting this so you guys can see only some of what I'm going through. This shit is depressing and mentally draining. Can you believe I've bought all this expensive equipment just for probation to turn around and tell me I can't stream? Now look, that's absolutely wild, yeah? Streaming is a real job. This here is my job, bro. I genuinely make a living off of this, bro. I make enough to pay my bills and pay my rent and do what I need to do from talking to this camera and from people taking a piss out of me in the comments, bro. This is my job, bro. This is literally my job. Someone like Digga D, who's a famous rapper, yeah? He's got a lot of fans. So if he hops on a streaming thing, hops on the content, he's going to be getting views straight away. And that's an income for him without him dissing ops, without him doing madness in his music. He's genuinely going to make legit money in a legal way from having a camera and having this equipment. But probation are not letting him do it, right? So we're going to be getting into the back and forth between Central Cee and Digga D. What Central was saying about Digga D before and what Digga D said on his recent track, Don't Piss Me Off, yeah? But first, if you guys don't know who Digga D is, obviously he's a legendary UK drill rapper. Central Cee, same thing, legendary rapper on the UK drill stuff as well, whatever. But look, this is what happened to Digga D, yeah? So he got jailed for supplying the C word. Don't even want to say that on here. Loud. We're going to call it Loud, yeah? So UK drill star, jailed for 3 years and 11 months for supplying 99 pounds or 45 kgs of Loud. Digga D was arrested at his property near Lincoln in the early hours of the 21st of February 2024 while broadcasting on Instagram Live. And long story short, he pleaded guilty in May to 2 charges relating to the importation and supply of Loud. And he denied being involved in commercial sale of up to 60 kgs of it, but the basis of his pleas were not accepted. And during a 2-day trial of the issue, the judge decided on the level of Digga D's drug dealing. And passing sentence, he was satisfied that Digga D had played a significant role in supplying Loud and had sold at least 45 kgs for commercial profit. And look, Digga D said something on his recent song in response to Central Cee's diss about this whole thing, which I'm going to get into. I'm going to get into it. Don't worry. I'm just giving you the background. Now, pretty much he got sentenced to 3 years and 11 months for that, right? So that was an L for Digga D, yeah? But he's out now. The guy's out of prison, yeah? But whilst he was in prison, we had Central Cee drop this CC freestyle over a classic grime instrumental. And by all means, look, I'm not a hater of either of these, man. I'm fans of both of them. So we're on a neutral side when we're reporting about this. But this is what's been going on. So Central Cee had this bar in this CC freestyle, which has now been taken down from YouTube, yeah? But he said, he was dissing Digga D all over this. He said, they book me in LA, they book you in Leicester. Digga D had a show in Leicester, like, around the same sort of time, or I don't know what the timings were, but he was clearly dissing Digga D, and he was saying some other bars about you can go anywhere and they all know Cinch, yeah, and it ends they might know you, or something like that. They're from similar areas, like close to each other. But anyway, this is what he said. Reply, they book me in LA, they book you in Leicester. That was just one bar from it, and I can't play a lot of what was actually said because it will get copyrighted. Central Cee's song even got taken down himself, so it's not there. Now, Digga D then decides to drop this as he's come home from prison. Yeah, he's fresh home. His first release, most anticipated Digga D song for a while. Yeah, and he drops this. I can't play it because of copyright, unfortunately. But look, Digga D DPMO, right? That's the song that he's dropped, and it's got 200,000 views in one day. Whilst it's age restricted, you know. Whilst it's age restricted. So look, you can see here it says age restricted video based on community guidelines. So that means the video is not going to get anywhere near as many views as it would if it wasn't age restricted, yeah. But I can't play you the song for copyright. But what we can do is go into the lyrics. Now, first few bars that he's saying man's on a op block, but I don't see no ops. When they was in a house like Corey, I was outside letting off shots, yeah? Now, that's a reference to the Disney sitcom Corey in the house. You get me? Just a little punchline there. I bet you the threatening stops as soon as I start putting metal in tops. You get me? I don't know if that's a diss to Digga D because he was saying a bunch of stuff whilst he was in jail. That's bro, we ain't doing no one-on-ones. Are you dumb? I ain't letting him box, yeah? Now, look, this is where it's more bait that it could be about Central Cee. They make good music, but they ain't putting out hits. My guys do drills in German whips, then they're blowing it up, blitz. So, look, Rap Genius ain't even clocking that this is about Central Cee because they're just thinking this line is a double entendre on the word hits. Digga mocks his rivals for failing to produce both commercially successful songs, hits, and for not being active on the streets by putting out hits, which is slang for ordering or carrying out violent attacks. Now, if we go into Central Cee's track with 21 Savage, banger by the way, GBP, he has that bar where he says, if I pay man £100,000, I can get man bun right in front of a crowd. Now, clearly Digga D is talking about Central Cee here. This is a response to this bar because look, as explained in this video, in Jamaican culture, the word burn is often provinces as bun. In certain contexts, one of the ways bun is used to call the complete removal or the struck. Basically, look, bun means bun something. You man know what bun means. It means shoot something. You get me? That's what bun means, yeah? So obviously Central Cee saying if I pay man 100k, I can get him bun in front of a crowd. People will do that. Like I remember when on Young Spray's podcast, we argued about that bar. I was saying, look, it'd be dumb if Central Cee does that with all the success he's got. Them man are saying, nah, he could do that easily. No one would even know. Like, I'm like, I don't know. I think they probably would. Like, they probably would find out. But I don't know. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I've heard some shit. I ain't gonna lie. But look, that's clearly a response to that bar, bro. Because he's saying they make good music, but they ain't putting out hits. That's clearly a response to that bar, bro. Clearly. And then we've also got some more responses to this bar now. Remember I said not to that bar, but to Central Cee. Remember I said Digga D got sentenced to 3 years and 11 months for supplying loud, yeah? And Central Cee had that bar that I showed you. They booked me in LA, they booked you in Leicester. Now, Digga D responded straight to that bar, bro. He literally responded straight to that bar. And I'm trying to find it for you guys right now, yeah? But he said, here we go. I'm that nigga that's rapping, can't quit trapping. Who said crime don't pay? All the money I made from Cali, I don't mind not getting booked in LA. Whoa, look, Rap Genius is clocking. This is a direct response to Central Cee, who aimed a diss track at Digga shortly after he was arrested in early 2024. The track was filled with several bars that was basically Central flexing the fact that he's more famous and has more money than Digga does, with the main bar being, DM your bitch. I bet she'll reply. They book me in LA. They book you in Leicester. But Digga has responded to that bar, and he's saying, look, all the money I made from Cali, I don't care if I didn't get booked in LA. I got too much pride and I ain't letting it slide. Gotta nip it in the bud from now. Cause when you give them an inch, that's when they think they can run with a mile. Now look, it was a slick response, but the reality is, bro, Digga D went and sat down in jail for a long time for supplying Cali, yeah? For being concerned in the supply of Cali or whatever it was, yeah? He's a famous rapper, bro. He needs to find... I kind of understand it, because when he's trying to stream, they're not letting him do it. Probation are not letting him do these things. So it's like, he's thinking, how can I make extra money? The music money might not be hitting as much as it was back in the day. And he's thinking, yo, how can I get some more bread? How can I get some more peas, man? But they're not letting me stream. They're not letting me do these other things. They're barely letting me make music. So he started doing the Cali, and look where that ended up. So that was his response to the bar. And that's pretty much the majority of what I thought about, of where I thought he was dissing Central Cee, basically. Now, in his, in Digga D's, I don't know what you call it, these Instagram things, like, it's not Discord, but it's like your Instagram broadcast is called. He's talking about how the thing got age restricted. He said he didn't show any girls in the video. It's not even the police or probation. This is rage bait. So I'm assuming Digga thinks that this was Central Cee's team who are behind this. But is Central Cee's team really going to be that salty and what's the word? What's the word where you I don't even know the word. The word where you get someone's thing taken down. What's the word, bro? Where you strike it? I can't think of the word, bro. Like where you just keep reporting it. There we go. Do you think Central Cee's team are really reporting Digga D's track to get it age restricted? Is that even possible if you didn't do anything wrong in the video? I know these platforms be moving wild with what you can and can't put up, bro. You can't even say certain words on TikTok, YouTube. You can't even say certain words. I'm referring from using the C word. I'm saying loud because they're not going to clock onto that. Other people call it coffee. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know if Digga D's team are actually behind, Central Cee's team are actually behind that, but Digga's kind of implying that he thinks that. And who knows, man? I just want to say, look, welcome back to Digga D. I wish him and Central would stop the beef. I wish they would. These two are some of the GOATs in the UK, bro. I wish they would stop it, but obviously that's never going to happen. But welcome back to Digga D. I'm glad to see him releasing music. It's a shame to see how his stuff's getting age restricted and he's getting violations, but I'm sure there's a way around that. And it's a shame to see that he can't stream and stuff, but I'm sure he'll find a way around that, and he'll find a way to be able to make a lot of money whilst he's home legally. But guys, what do you think about this one? Do you think it is Central Cee's team behind it? You think Digga's moving mad? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Drop a like on this video. Subscribe to Honcho's House for more updates. I'm out for now.